welcome back to another episode of Primos, Chidos. I'm of course joined by.
What's up, everyone? Happy Thursday.
It is your girl, Jules.
We could have dissected its balls.
Nothing's embarrassing if you do it in a common way, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, kill that blow up pussy.
One time I went on a date with this girl who had been jumped the night before.
What?
I thought we got each other's jokes right
But we're bringing back cringe, bro. Cringe corner is back.
Like, oh my gosh, kids, it's Dr. Fauci. Yeah, so.
See, we broke that virginity.
Yeah. And I remember.
Don't say it that way.
I remember.
Party! What's up, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome back to the Primos Chidos episode 57. This is like a return to the mold for us because we were kind of gone for like 2 weeks. We missed one, and then we have Vanessa on last week, but we're back to the same old, same old. You know how it's going. Brandon, what's up with you?
Not much.
He's a little busy right now, but don't worry. We're always keeping it casual here. You know how we like to do it. We hope you guys have a good time. I'm joined, as always, by, Brandon and my sister. Why don't you go ahead and say what's up?
Hey, y'all. What's up? Make sure y'all
Oh, hold on.
chat with us on the
Real
live.
quick, I gotta give a shout out real quick.
Ooh, okay. Who?
Okay, so my girlfriend works at Summer Night Lights, which is it's free food, free activities. It's a program that helps areas that are prone to gang violence and just overall gives back to the community. So you guys should go to those if they're in your neighborhood. But
Nice. I actually
cool.
like that, bro.
Yeah.
I like doing shit for the community. Does your girl? She works at she works at a place
park,
near my
Yeah.
No, it's
Uh,
summer.
do they walk
Summer
around
Night
lights?
Lights. They're like I've heard about them.
Yeah.
I've been recommended when
should work
I
there.
first moved out here. I was recommended.
Yeah, that's
Um,
perfect, bro.
Okay.
Can you click on it?
No.
No.
You just typed it out. Let her do it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do they walk around and give out like flyers? Because I think I saw her yesterday. I was working. You know where I work.
Yeah.
And I thought I saw like a group of
Oh
people.
yeah, she told me she
hanging out.
saw you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, because she was looking at me and I was like, is that her?
No, yeah,
Because she had her mask on.
Because you know how there's that little like center that's right by
Yeah.
where you work.
Yeah.
They're there sometimes.
Oh yeah. I remember there was like people before her passing out other flyers for like a new park that they're developing. I don't know if you heard about it. They're turning where we used to go to high school, the back highway was just a bunch of fucking like trash. Did you see they're turning it into a new park?
the empty parking lot.
Wait,
there's nothing. It's literally nothing there. The train tracks.
Say again. The train tracks, like
Yeah, you know where we used to go to high school and by the river, by the Los Angeles River.
Yeah.
They're turning it into a huge like park, basically Los Angeles version
where
of like Golden State Park.
the park where like the
Well, you know where I got like held up by like
yeah.
people putting their guns at me and
Okay.
everything, all that shit. Where people say there's like a money laundering scheme there,
What's
like.
it called?
people say there's a money laundering scheme.
Yeah, you know that Dunder Mifflin type like
Yeah,
storage
that
place.
does look
People
like
say
that,
that that's just like a laundry money laundering place. I mean that's what the hood says, right? The place around it,
Mhm.
because people say it's really suspicious that nobody's ever like actually doing stuff in there.
Okay.
It's from that guy who, when we were standing there to vote, everyone please vote. But remember the guy was passing flyers
Yeah, I
and he's
told
like,
him,
if
yeah.
you guys want updates on it.
Now you haven't heard about it, bro. It looks like it's gonna be sick as fuck.
Oh, you mean? Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're restoring it, right?
Yeah.
The one that was supposed to be the bow tie project.
Yeah. They're not
yeah.
really restoring it. They're turning it
just-
into something completely new. Basically.
So it's gonna be like a park.
It's gonna be a huge park. It's supposed to be like over 100 acres.
But what about San Fernando Park? Is it gonna connect to it?
I don't think so. I
'Cause
actually
it's
don't
like
think
right
so.
behind
No.
San Fernando Park, no?
No, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You're giving locations out, man. I'm just kidding.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's LA. Like
Yeah.
it's basically public. You know what? Speaking of infrastructure, we have one.
that's a great.
We have one big like thing that kind of blew my mind that I saw that I wanted to bring up on the podcast.
Mhm.
Was I don't know if you guys have heard the line. Brandon, do you want to go ahead and introduce it?
Yeah, sure. So the line is like this concept. I'm not even a concept. It's a plan now, right? It's like basically a giant like city, but like in a line. And it's like picture like a wall of mirrors, because the outside's gonna
Yeah.
be mirrors, right?
Yeah.
And it's gonna go from where to where? It's gonna be like 100 miles long, isn't
It's
it?
gonna be over. Like it's gonna be extremely long. It's basically gonna cross. It's designed to be at the center of a lot of
Everything, right?
countries. Yeah. So it's between I think like 40 countries. It's 6 hours away from all of them by plane, obviously. It's supposed to revolutionize the way humans live. If you guys have a hard time visualizing this concept, we luckily brought videos for you guys, for those of you who are watching us on YouTube. So Jay, why don't you go ahead and play the first one?
For too long, humanity has existed within dysfunctional and polluted cities that ignore nature. Now, a revolution in civilization is taking place. Imagine a traditional city and consolidating its footprint, designing to protect and enhance nature. The line will be home to 9 million residents and will be built with a footprint of just 34 square kilometers.
Yeah,
Wow.
so basically they're gonna try and stack every single city the way you see. They even did a mock like diagram of New York City, and they made it like a line.
Yeah.
The point of it is that it's supposed to be both beneficial for humans, because it's supposed to basically get rid of cars. It's supposed to streamline your access to your city. Like in between any other place inside of the line, it's 20 minutes, right? They have like a bunch of things.
They have a they have a high speed railway that they're gonna have, so you can take it and you can get to the other side in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So-
Judy, go ahead and play the second video.
And we are designing it to provide a healthier, more sustainable quality of life. The line's communities are organized in 3 dimensions. Residents have access to all their daily needs within 5-minute walk neighborhoods. And the line's infrastructure makes it possible to travel end to end in 20 minutes with no need for cars, resulting in 0 carbon emissions.
Would you live there?
Okay, but what do you think about it in terms of can it be done? And do you know there's actually like controversy on it?
What's the controversy?
So if you look at their official, what is it called? Neom, right?
Neom.
Neom.
That's like the company that's
So
Yeah.
Neom is what I think they're gonna name also like the line. That's like its nation. It's basically like a small nation. It's 9 million people. But it's the Neom is what they're calling it, like the Neom Foundation or whatever. There's a bit of controversy because Saudi Arabia is very conservative. Like a lot of women's basically don't have rights.
Yeah.
And it's actually legal and punishable by death to be gay.
Mhm.
And one of the things that the Saudi Arabian prince pointed out in his he came out, he did basically like a Steve Jobs like press conference. He came out and he explained it, and a lot of it is gonna be run by AI, like artificial intelligence. So like facial recognition and like all this other shit. And a lot of people have brought up the privacy issue of cameras basically being everywhere, and in a nation where to be gay is to be basically killed. It's something that's like very problematic. It's extremely dangerous, right? It's limiting in terms of freedom, right? And a lot of people have that fear of, if it does somehow succeed, if it delivers on all its promises, a lot of countries that they've developed this, what will that do in terms of like a psychological effect for humanity, right? There's actually, I looked really deeply into this. There's tiers. So there's tiers to how it's built. You know how it's a line and it's structured? So the top tier is basically just one giant like park from one end to another end. It's all trees, all like nature, no cars, no nothing. It's basically just for leisure. The second one, that's where you see like restaurants, clubs, like all the like recreational stuff. And then the one below is basically the subway system. And then I think below that is where people live, like at the bottom one. I thought about Blade Runner.
The bottom one is like the energy stuff, no?
Yeah, like
The
it's supposed to
actual
be
base, like
completely
actual
powered
base.
by like
Natural,
renewable
yeah,
energy. Yeah,
renewable,
and
yeah,
you're s-
yeah.
It, apparently if you want to get out, like if you don't like the line, you have access to the outside world, because they're building it in this like biome that has a lot of like beautiful geographic like areas, right? So apparently you'll have like a lot of access. And the reason for the line, some people call it a vanity project, but it's because Saudi Arabia, the reason why they're so rich is because a lot of their money comes from oil, right?
Yeah.
They're, I think, the second most like oil rich country
Yeah.
in the world. But they know that that's an unstable kind of way to structure their economy.
That's eventually gonna run out.
Yeah. So what they want to do is they really want to invest in tourism, and
That's why they got like the Burj Khalifa and all
yeah,
that.
they put a lot of like you know how much this is costing?
Isn't it like $1 trillion?
It's 500 billion.
Oh.
Half of a trillion. Yeah, but I told my sister, that's what I said. Don't you think that seems more expensive? This seems like they're almost building a small artificial country.
Yeah,
Right?
I feel like, all right, well, would you guys live there? Like,
Would I live there?
Like, if you had the opportunity.
You said no. Why not?
Well, I don't have rights there, so like.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
let's
yeah.
say they made the United States made it.
I don't know. The concept is interesting, but it's just I would feel very claustrophobic. I always think of
Exactly.
Wally, like how everything, because you know how they're saying everything's like 5 minutes from each other. It just feels very like lazy, and like I feel like I'm just stuck in like another small world.
Yeah.
Then because the way I see it and the way when I was watching the video, it just seems that I'm stuck in a small world. That's why I was like, can I go? Can I leave? Like, can I go out? Like, and to me, it just seems like I'm just very stuck there, and I don't like it. I just don't like it.
That's like for the good of mankind, for the good of the environment.
I don't
and
want
the good
AIs, bro.
That scares
Kind
you.
of like no.
But is that a valid fear, or is that just fear of like moving forward of human evolution?
It probably is. I mean, it's probably just me like not wanting the change of it, of like just how everything's like high tech and all that. But
think about it. It looks environmentally beautiful on the top, right? It's all trees.
It looks nice, but the way it seems like the money that they're investing, I also feel like it's not gonna be.
It's unrealistic.
Yeah.
I was telling my sister, we took a deep dive yesterday into more of like the line, and they already built the foundation for it. Like not like the actual line, but in terms of like they built an airport for it, so that way they can bring in the stuff. The Saudi prince already built his mansion and a bunch of his like siblings' mansions right next to the one of the ends of the line.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other stuff that they put around.
It's also just
so they're going for it, bro.
I mean,
there's no looking back.
Controversy is like how they were saying that no one lives there, but there's actual people there
that
they're like misplacing. So they're like taking a lot of people out, and then for the people who actually like voice it, I guess they're getting killed now.
Yeah, so for people who are against the line,
protesting, yeah.
Saudi Arabia has killed people who have spoken out against the building of the line. So yeah, this isn't something.
Well, then I'm already against it. Then.
that was the first thing. That was the first thing when I found out about it.
I understand like being against like the Saudi Arabian government, but in terms of the idea, right, of the project of the line.
So you're saying like in a perfect world, let's say that
not even in a perfect world,
but let's just say
it kind of has to be.
Let's just say that this happened in a much more ethical way. Like this is happening in like, I don't know, like in Sweden or something, where everybody has rights. There's no problems like that. It's not displacing anybody. It's good for the environment. They can afford it. It's gonna happen, and it just looks like all upsides. You're saying like, if it was like that, do you think it's a good idea? Like just from that, like, do you think it's a good idea? Is that what you're asking?
It piques my curiosity. Yeah, of like, is this what's right for the Earth? Because people have always said that we don't. Well, there's a lot of us, right? There's a lot of people. We're growing every day. As far as we know, we haven't hit a point where we're kind of like stopping to the population. So if we were to build up instead of building spread out, would that be better? What did it say? Chris1781 commented, but what happens when the AI stops working or has a problem and then you're trapped? That's true. I thought about that too. And then Patty with Fatty says Steve's getting paid to endorse his kick him off the show. This doesn't make any sense. I don't know why he's personally attacking me. This is like a good question.
Is it better for the world? Probably, right? Because it's like a better it's just a better roadmap of what like a civilization could look like. Because aren't cities like super unsustainable?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and they said they're gonna run on 100% clean energy, right? There's some really nice upsides to it.
Yeah,
and to me, I think about it how like we've often in human history been very selfish in what we choose to build and make. If all we do is sacrifice just a little bit of space, but yet we still get on top, we have this beautiful greenish like environment. No cars. They said that everything is within like a 5-minute radius of you.
It's just a giant walkable city.
Yeah, it's like an amazing marvel of human technology. The one thing that it sucks is that it's in a conservative country. It's the hands of a conservative country. So if they succeed and they make it pretty good, obviously you're gonna see other countries start to adopt it. Yeah. And that's where it becomes a little scary, because when has the government ever really like?
Wasn't Disneyland doing something like that, where they're making like a Disney a Disney like gated community,
They already have
a
one.
Disney suburb, no?
They already
Yeah.
have a
think
Disney.
we
Well,
will.
I don't know if it's the what you're talking about, but I know Disney owns already a city in Florida that's completely ran and owned by Disneyland.
But aren't they doing one where it's like they're basically doing suburban houses,
Yeah,
but like under Disney,
I think so. Yeah.
and
yeah.
it's like supposed to
wouldn't be
like
surprised
it's
if
supposed to
it-
like
it's probably in
maintain.
I feel
Florida,
like I
yeah.
heard that. Yeah.
It's probably because I'm telling you, it
Um,
already exists.
I feel like
I
I've
saw a
seen the
documentary of it
designs.
in college.
Well, either way, I'm a pass.
I'm
I'm
a
a pass
pass.
on that. I think I'm good.
Why?
uh,
But why?
Just I don't know. It doesn't intrigue me personally. Like I feel like I don't think I'd have a fulfilling life in there.
It's so they're trying to finish it by what 2030.
Yeah, 2030 is the deadline of when the
I
it's
guess
up and
I
running.
guess it kind of feels like you're just living in a building. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's kind of like I get what you mean by like Wall-E, where it's like everything's in one place. And I feel like yeah, that's cool. Like I get like it's like a different take on like the walkable city, but I don't think it's like probably good for your mental health. Probably.
Yeah.
Because
To always
can I
be-
see like landscapes? Like
Yeah,
or
I
am
mean,
staring at the
where
same thing?
they're putting it. I mean, when you go on top, you can
No,
see
yeah,
all
yeah.
the nature
But
around you.
that's really high though, no? Because it's like,
I mean, you'll still be able to see it. Doesn't. I don't think it affects it. It's taller. It's supposed to be taller than the Eiffel Tower
can I
in
breathe?
New York.
Can I
City.
breathe up there? I
I'm
can,
pretty
right?
sure. Yeah, they wouldn't be making it if like. Well, actually, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
That's my
Their
thing.
track record. I mean, they're good at building shit. I don't
Burj
know.
Khalifa.
They're
Well,
good
yeah,
at-
because you know how they're saying that it's off like just like a mirror.
Mhm.
At first, I was kind of like, I don't know if that's safe. But then I'm like, a lot of skyscrapers kind of have like that mirror
Mirror,
effect.
yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool if
Sure.
it was all like solar panels, isn't it?
I mean, either way, it's supposed to be renewable energy. I wonder what
Yeah.
that means, like renewable energy
You
in
think
terms of what's it gonna run
you think it's
off?
nuclear power?
Maybe. Yeah, I just think about how like you're right that in a perfect world, this sounds so good in terms of like human nature. I
Yeah.
feel like is not perfect, and if it's all being run by AI, it's kind of like how Chris commented right here. What happens when the AI stops working and you're stuck? I thought about how like, bro, what if people get like, yeah, like the subway system is automatic, so it's always just running, so you better get in there before it closes. So
Yeah.
like, do people die all the time being decapitated and like losing
Well, like,
limbs?
I don't know. I guess it just sounds so weird.
I just
like,
feel like, especially the subways being under you, I feel like there's like, to me, the way I see it, there's like bound to be like a collapse of it, and it all just kind of falls in.
I don't really. I don't think I'm
I think
I'm
that's
worried.
you're underestimating the.
I don't think
I don't
I'm
know,
worried
bro.
about it
I don't know.
practically. Like I don't
Mhm.
think I'm worried about it like exploding.
Mhm.
I just think like
It does. No, just
I just think like if I live there, I'd be like this. I don't like this. Like, you know.
I saw a big criticism is that they're not putting they're
Andy
putting
Mendoza,
Skynet.
Skynet. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
They're putting apparently like business and infrastructure over like humans because if you look at the tiers, I think 2 of them are reserved just for like business, like to move around shit.
Oh, I'd probably only also be rich people living there, right? I mean,
You think so? I saw the full thing. I saw the full concept. I think at the end it's gonna be the rich people, and then I wouldn't be
it's
surprised if it
it's
slowly
broken up
gets
by-
it slowly gets poorer the more you go. I think they also said they're gonna force some people to live there because obviously,
Force them?
yeah, they're gonna force some people to live there because they want to
Yikes.
see they want to see what it
Force
works,
them?
you know.
Yikes.
Because people were
Yeah.
saying like, how is homelessness gonna work? And I thought about that too. I was like, I guess it's supposed to do away with homelessness,
Right? Because
Like,
it's like
if you're
You're kinda-
homeless, just leave. Like, I think that's kind of the concept of what they're saying.
I just
So it's more of like they're trying to build a perfect city.
They're trying to build like a perfect city.
I
I'm
just wonder what it looks like. I just wonder what it's gonna be like. Honestly, I'm really curious. I won't lie. I'm
and
really
they're
curious.
and bro, they're determined. They're killing people who are speaking out against it. They're building
it seems like
foundations.
they're all in. On
Yeah,
that.
they're all in. They already invested $500 billion.
Oh yeah, and they're saying that it's gonna be like it's supposed to be done in like 2030, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a really bold
What are we?
In
claim.
8 years?
That's a bold
20,
claim.
yeah.
But they're rich, man.
No,
Saudi
yeah,
Arabia's
no,
got
yeah,
money.
but like
Wait, so how long is it again? How long?
it's like 100 miles, isn't it?
It's
100
100
miles?
meters.
100
I think 100 meters. About we're
Saudi
American,
convert that.
so
How
Look
do
up
you
look up the line Saudi Arabia length.
yeah. Oh, look, it's the first thing that comes up when you look up the line. Line Saudi Arabia length.
Construction.
They announced it a year ago too. So
Did they
technically
actually?
they announced it a year ago.
170 kilometers, which is
So
110
110
miles.
110 miles. How far is that in America?
110
that-
miles?
Yeah.
From my house to your house, it's like 7 miles.
So what's this? Look at the length of California. Damn, if the city is the length of California,
No, it's not.
No,
it's not
it's
the length of
not.
California.
It's
It's not the length.
It-
All right,
I
my
think it's
bad, my bad, my
smaller.
bad.
I think it's a lot
No,
smaller. Because what? Because here to San Francisco is what, like 300 miles?
Oh yeah, you're right. That's still pretty long.
300? I don't think it's 300 miles from here to San
What is
Francisco.
it? The length of California? Yes, it is. No,
I
actually,
don't-
no.
I
Don't
don't
quote me.
think so.
Don't quote me, bro.
I really don't think so. In miles.
900 miles of California. So it's a tenth of California.
So it would
A
be
little
what?
more, no?
A little bit more, like 10 miles more than a
Nine.
tenth of
that-
California.
damn.
That's pretty long.
I'm gonna look.
How many people? Oh, 9 million. How many people
Yeah.
are in
In Los Angeles, bro. I didn't know actually the Los Angeles city is
well, what's the
3
city
million.
that has 900 million people? I mean,
900
9
9 million?
My bad. 9 million.
Let me look it up. My sister's looking up something else.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Trying to see. Let's see.
What's 100 miles? Look up something that's 100 miles.
Let's see. Let's see how far this is. Yeah, see?
383?
Yeah. That's
So it's
LA
like-
to San Francisco.
It's like
right?
LA to Bakersfield, probably, right? That's like 1/3 of it.
No, wait, hold on. Let me change it.
LA, Bakersfield.
Yeah.
130. Wow, it's perfect. Yeah, it's basically from
Right.
literally deep center of LA all the way to Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Just one huge line.
That. Look, you see that straight line? That's right there.
Yeah.
20 minutes? You're telling me it takes 20 minutes to get from one point to the other point?
But you don't
It's
have
a
cars-
high-speed
you don't-
rail, though. It's like
you
the
don't have-
bullet train.
Yeah, and I guess if it's a line, right? And people say that one thing that pisses them off is that the line isn't like gonna be molded in the shape of its environment. Instead,
It's just a big.
they're gonna
like-
they're gonna bulldoze through everything there.
No, yeah. I thought that's kind of weird, like that. It's just like a big wall. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I feel like
I mean, they're getting rid of all the
It'd-
indigenous people
it'd be
who
cool-
live there,
yeah.
and that makes me sad.
it also yeah, that's sad. It'd also be cool if they had like arches in the middle, so like animals could get through. But
I think at the end, it's supposed to have an opening. That's where the rich people are gonna live. It's gonna have that little like cup opening where it's a wall, and then it has the little cup opening for like environment. You get what I'm saying?
I get you.
Oh, look. So yeah, I was right. In LA, about actually more towards 4 million people live in LA. So the line is supposed to house double that plus.
Only 4 million people live in LA.
Yeah, in Los Angeles. Yeah, I know, right? Seems like a lot more, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's right here. It's right here.
Wow.
As of
Yeah,
2020.
But that's LA, the city. You know how it's a bunch of other cities? Probably you add like Inglewood and all that shit. That's probably like in California, I think like 40 million people live. So think about it. That's like a fourth of people in the entire. A fourth of the people who live in California are gonna live in that city alone.
I just wondered, like 9 million people, because 9 million people, like, I don't know.
That's a lot
they
to
don't,
keep
they don't,
it
they
in
don't
line.
just. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna come from somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
it's not all just gonna be babies. Like, grown people just don't fall out of the sky.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like 9 million people like leaving where they live and going there.
It's just
Like, think of
crazy.
all the space that's gonna be like open now from those places now.
Mhm.
That's
Okay,
just
but what
crazy.
if let's say the line comes out and people are like, I fucking love the line, bro. Like you gotta go see the line. Like I'm telling you, like spend a week in the line resort. Like it's fucking the move. Like it's really nice. And then you go, bro, and you're low key like you low key fuck with it.
I don't, if I end up liking the line, then something's wrong.
Something's wrong. They brainwashed you.
Yeah, something's
They
wrong.
they locked you. Like have you ever
Panic.
seen Bossing Say?
Yeah,
And they
Panic.
fucking brainwashed you.
interlinked.
Bruh, that's
Interlinked.
Fucking
crazy.
cells interlinked.
Bro, it looks exactly like the Blade Runner cities.
Yeah.
And we always called that if there was any movie that got the future right, it was Blade Runner. And then I saw the line and I was like, oh, it's happening right
Well,
before
'cause
my
I
eyes.
don't think somebody's gonna imitate the line per se, just the concept. So I wonder if
Yeah.
somebody's gonna make like a giant pyramid or like you know what I mean, like a
Oh,
big
where it's
dome.
self-sustaining. Like,
Yeah, like it's a giant pyramid. Like the top is like agriculture, then it's like you know what I mean.
people
Mhm.
said that
It's-
the line they should drop that shit somewhere in the Midwest of like the United States. I was seeing people comment that already, saying that like this idea is beautiful and what a wonderful idea. Like the United States needs to get on this shit already. And they're like, it'd be
Yeah.
perfect in the middle of the United States because there's nothing really like there that calls people.
Mhm.
But if it was the middle of the United States, everyone around it would be centered more. And like it'd be why are you making that stank face?
I don't want to hear.
Why not?
It's gonna happen though.
What do you think? Well,
probably
what's the
gonna happen.
societal implication of it? What do you
What
think
do
it'll
you
do? Like, what do you think it'll change about people? because it has to change people's.
I don't know. It's probably like phones, right? You're probably like kind of stuck in one place.
I don't like the idea of always being watched. That everything around you is basically pre-made. I mean, right now we're in a building, so everything's pre-made.
Well, yeah, but like I feel like that's exactly though, right? Like
It'd
you're in a
always
building,
be like this.
It's always like this, and it's like that's like where you live. Like you just live in a giant building.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like crazy.
I think to me it's just I've always just been iffy about high tech and seeing everything being high tech. I feel like it's I want to see nature. And I know that
There's
they're probably
nature on
gonna
top.
add it, but it's kind of like I want to see more.
I think
But
it's
don't
just
know.
I think it's just she means she wants to like go out of her way to be involved in nature.
And like get out of
Instead of just, like-
out of technology.
But
Instead
they
of just
say-
like
like,
looking at
separate-
it from a
and
window.
separate
They say
myself.
you can get out, and around you is some of the most beautiful geographical nature you can
But
see in the
I
world.
still feel trapped.
I feel
though.
like I bet you it's gonna look so scary. Like just like looking up at a giant like city and from horizon to horizon, it just keeps going.
I guess addressing Patty with a fatty's comment of like I'm here to endorse it. The reason why I'm so like I don't know, guys, maybe it's not that bad, is because I feel as though I feel like when technology sometimes comes out, it could be very scary. But this is one of the things where if it all works out really well, I don't know, man. It might be beautiful that if humans just live in these lines and then nature around the world just is able to blossom and the oceans come back, the Great Barrier Reef comes back, like, and humans just live in this little like line. I think that's something that we owe the earth, because we've given it a lot of suffering for so long. But you know, I see that people aren't always prone to accept change and evolution and innovation.
I feel like
And on that note, we're going to have to go to a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back. Don't worry. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. You won't miss much.
And this is
Brown Wealth Radio. And make sure to catch us on TGN Latinx every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific, to be specific.
Hey, what's up, business owners? Are you looking to take your business a step forward? Are you looking for more people to know what you have to offer? You are in luck. The Good News Radio has a special deal for you right now. You can get a commercial slot 4 times a day, every day for a month. If you are interested, email contact@tgnradio.net for more information.
Hey, my name is Jasmine Sweets, and I'm so excited to be bringing you The Sweet Spot on TGN Vibes, Good Vibes, and R&B. Playing the old school, new school, and in between. I'm coming to you this summer. Stay tuned.
What's up, friends? It's IE and Friends. We're here at the Podcast Pit LA. It was so fun. We came to rep the IE. I think we did a pretty good job. So shout out to the Podcast Pit for having us. Shout out to TGN. You guys should definitely check them out. You should check me out, Saul V. Gomez.
Y'all can find me at I Know Caesar on IG. You can find me at airbear_IE on IG.
And you guys can find the podcast at IE and Friends on every social media network, except for OnlyFans. That's coming soon. So stay tuned. So follow us and follow TGN Podcast Pit. Have a good day, guys.
Hooty-hoo! Are you looking for a DJ for your next private party, wedding, club, corporate event, tour, or even bar mitzvah? DJ Dash is the guy that can get it done. With 10 years plus experience in both audio and video DJing, I can cater to literally any crowd for any occasion. Call or text me now at area code 323-854-2013. Once again, that's 323-854-2013. And don't forget to keep up with me on all social medias, including SoundCloud, handle @approved, DASHAPPROVED. See you soon.
Hey there, business owners. Don't miss our limited time offer. Advertise on the Good News Radio as low as $2 per commercial slot. That's right. Promote your business up to 4 times a day, every day for a month on live radio. If you're interested, email us at contact@tgnradio.net. Once again, that's contact@tgnradio.net.
Yo, Jerry, what you sipping on?
You already know, Mike. It's Michelada time. Flavorful, handcrafted Michi mix to top off with your favorite cerveza. It will have you saying, wow, baby, at every drink. Michelada time is freshly made in small batches, bringing you the perfect Michelada every time.
The streets are talking, Jerry. That Michelada time is liquid gold. Where can I find it?
Check out our website at www.micheladatimemix.com. That is MICHELADA timemix.com. Follow us on Instagram at Michelada_time for news, products, pop-ups, and store locations.
Say less. I'm on it.
And welcome back, everybody. As we were saying, I don't feel like the line is all that environmentally conscious. I think it's bullshit that there's a giant wall. There's a giant wall for 100 miles. What about all the animals that need to like migrate?
They're saying it's a desert. There's not really that many animals there.
That's a good point.
there you go.
It's a giant mirror, though.
The line. No,
nah, fuck the line.
My biggest thing with it is the whole reliance on AI. And the reason why is because I don't know if you guys saw, there's just been a lot of controversy with TikTok and their user guide. And for those of you guys who don't know, basically when you sign up to TikTok, you allow for them to have access to files, names in your phone. And not only that, inside of the TikTok user guide, it says that they're able to access your phone from other computers. So let's say you're, and then anything that your phone has connected to inside of your household, they're allowed to have access to. So let's say your phone is connected to like your Mac, right? Your phone connects, right? You guys have done it before, or you've like screen played, or you've airdropped. All those stuff technically counts as what TikTok now has as its own property. What people find very dangerous about this is that this is a good way to kind of understand people's like rhythms in terms of how they interact with social media. And not only that, but when people in China, like, because that's where TikTok's from, are developing new technology, or like they're developing, let's say you think of like a really nice app or a really nice piece of like software that'll revolutionize people. If you have TikTok downloaded on your app, they have access to those files and they're able to legally own any of your property that you made on there. This is all true. You can look this up. And the reason I bring it up is because I think of AIs, right? If everything is owned and operated by artificial intelligence, like where does the freedom really like rely? Did you know that? Did you know that about TikTok?
No, I didn't.
I was hearing about it.
They're stealing our information.
Yeah,
It's
they're
too
stealing.
late.
And
It's too
I
late
pulled
at
up
this
an
point,
I even
bro.
pulled up an article. Leaked audio from 80 internal TikTok meetings show that the U.S. user data has been repeatedly accessed from China. So it's like something that they actively look at. It's not something that
aren't they
just
thinking
collect.
about banning TikTok again?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Do you think after hearing that, do you think it should be banned?
Probably. They should just make an American bootleg one.
I heard. I mean, they do. Instagram and YouTube Reels.
No,
They
but
do.
like one that's specifically just Reels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They should just make a bootleg.
You know, because people said that they theorized that TikTok was initially invented for the sole reason of collecting data, because they apparently in a long time ago, China had this smartphone called Weiwao or something.
Oh, I remember.
You know what I'm
those.
talking about?
Yeah, I remember.
And
seeing them in Mexico.
that was the first time that they were collecting data around people, and they wanted to figure out what's the most addictive way that we can make an app. Like, so they found out the most addictive app they can make, and they ended up making TikTok, and then for the sole reason of always collecting people's like user data, so that way. Because one of the things that it says in the user agreement, it says that they also track your typing, like your typing pattern. Yeah. So even things that you send like in DMs, or things that you erase, like you're about to comment something and then you erase it, they keep track of all that. Yeah, they record all of that. Yeah, all your messages. And I think they are also when you sign up, you agree to do that for other apps. I mean, you see it sometimes. That's why Apple says this app wants to track you on other platforms.
You know
like, can
what?
I do that?
You know, if I was making a movie about like our reality right now, I'd start like, okay, so hear me out. So this is all true. This is all true, right? The line's like up and running, but it's like people are like, no, all the people in there are like controlled. TikToks run rampant. Everybody's like fucking businesses out there. We're controlled by apps and all shit. And then what I think would happen is there's like this like, you know how there's like in movies there's like eco terrorists, where they're like they'll probably do something where they like wipe out all like
technology.
I feel like in Blade Runner where they call it the blackout.
Yeah,
where everything just kind of
I love that.
EMP'd.
Yeah,
I think that'll be cool. We need one of those.
We need one of those to just erase everything clean slate.
Bro, if that happened, I'd literally like just dip. I take my chances.
If the whole grid just fell down,
If
like
the whole grid just fell down and like all our files like got erased, like there's no record of us ever existing on the internet, like the internet just went, I take that as my sign to dip.
but what would you even do? Like, what do you have?
Go live in the forest, probably.
No, but how? With what materials? With like,
that's what I'm preparing to do.
Yeah, bro.
so that I'm not. So if this opportunity ever presents itself, I can't miss it.
I get what you're saying.
And it ends him walking into the forest.
I get to me
eaten by a bear.
when I was reading
Being eaten by a bear. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
when I was reading all this stuff about TikTok and the user guide, and I was learning about the line, I thought about conspiracy theorists, right? How they're like, oh, like the China's doing this and that, and I thought about how, but I'm always like, why? Like, what's the why? Like, what does this lead to?
Like, why do they want our info?
I read this
like,
guy,
what do they want our info for?
Andrew Schultz. He's a comedian. Saul, I think, likes him a lot. He was talking about how he felt like that there's like this conspiracy about TikTok about how in China, like their algorithm rewards like shit that they want out of society, where it's like like it'll be like some dude who's like a scientist and he's like doing science shit. So like if you're in China, you go on TikTok, you see like being a scientist, being productive to society is cool. You know what I mean? But like if you're trying to use TikTok to like on a nation that you don't like, that you want to like crumble, you like you reward dumb shit, right? Like just somebody dancing, or you reward everybody kind of just like giving up what they do, like that contributes to a society. And it's like, oh, because I can make it rich on here. I can do whatever I want on here. That's, I think, what they
Can
say.
I offer a counter conspiracy theory that I told my sister yesterday?
What's your counter?
So when I was hearing about the whole like TikTok user guides and it's like China has all this stuff and China's doing this, I thought about my problem is because I'm a minority and especially the indigenous aspect of it. I don't trust the United States government because if you look at our history, the United States has done a lot of shady shit. And I wonder if this is a new age of propaganda where in the past where we like, oh, China has this, China has that. It kind of gives you more of a reason of why you see this is why we shouldn't fuck with China. This is why maybe we should go to war with them because they have all our information. They're checking all our information. We should invade them. They're doing all this stuff. And I wonder, is that just propaganda to kind of like ease us into wanting to fight them? Because with Russia, right? With the Russian and Ukraine war, we saw that Russia wasn't this big threat that we thought it always was.
Have you seen? Is it true that supposedly Russia's saying that they're like losing the war because that Ukraine has mutants?
Are you serious? No, I haven't seen that.
I saw like a headline where supposedly Russia's saying like they're only having a hard time because like Ukraine has super soldiers. Like they made it in like a lab.
What? No, I didn't hear about that.
I don't know if it's true. I never like, but I saw it a bunch all over like TikTok and Twitter.
Nah, that's propaganda. There's no way. Yeah, okay, but yeah, back to what I was saying, right?
What is it? Ukraine.
Super mutants or whatever.
Yeah, so I think about how when that happened, it made me think about how like, damn, is all this just bullshit? Like, is the United States really the strongest guy in the world?
Probably.
Like, right. That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, if China is supposedly doing that, if they're stealing our information, I'm like, I guarantee you the United States has been doing that for a long time.
That's what I think too.
So I totally think this whole fear of like, because there's videos of FBI agents saying that they've actively been investigating China. That's proof. Like it's there by CNN and an FBI official on camera, no cover up on his face. He said, yes, China is tracking our information through TikTok. That's why they want to ban it. To me, I'm like, okay, are you sure? Yeah, no, not only but why, but like, yeah, you really mean that? Or is this just propaganda that you want us to be so that way we don't fuck with China and that way when you guys eventually go to war with them, like it feels like, oh, we're doing it for the right thing. It's like in the old days, we're fighting communism, we're fighting the probability of new world order.
I thought that the reason TikTok stayed around was because didn't they sell to like America or something like that?
They built a new company in the United States called TikTok United States, but it's still overall owned by China. Yeah. It's like this weird business, man. Business runs the world. Business runs the world more than countries do.
I feel like I believe that.
The world is irreversibly capitalist.
But I also thought about conspiracy theorists, how they're always paranoid and they're always think like the world's gonna end. I always think about how I always think it's definitely paranoia, but it's paranoia of the future. I think
So-
everything that they're worried about, I don't think is actively happening. To me, everything they're worried about everything's gonna be run by AIs, everything's gonna be fake, like they're gonna control you. I think that already happened. If I'm being honest, I think it happened and we never saw it coming. I think it happens even right now. I think this whole world that people are scared of coming, like this new world order, blah, blah, I think it already happened. I think it's already here. It's been here for a while. I think it's just really good that you don't really see the lines. And that's why conspiracy theorists seem so crazy and insane, because they see that the world is insane. But it's already here, man. All these fears that they have, it's already here. And this fear of like AIs and TikTok, that's the future. But it's gonna become that way. It's definitely gonna become that way. You know, I feel like that's just the way of the world. And you just gotta accept that that's the way it is. There's so many. I wonder where.
That's what they want out of you, bro. They want you to expect
That's true.
the way the world's gonna be.
But I also understood. I don't know if I still agree, but I understood why a lot of people don't like big government now. You get me? I don't know if I agree, but I understand it now because when you have big government, it often becomes a power-hungry
weird?
group.
You know what's weird is big government uses the fear of big government to stay as big government. You know what I mean?
How?
Like the government's like, what? You guys don't want healthcare? Like that's big government. Like we're gonna regulate your healthcare now. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in reality, they're just kind of using that so that they can stay in power, right? You know what I mean? So shit can stay fucked up.
Yeah, but you see how that like relates to the line of the sense of like the line and AIs and TikTok user data. Seems like the world's getting more and more digital, and it feels like that controlling of your freedom is because of big government, because like these guys they have so much money, they have so much technology is so advanced now that they can literally build cities where you don't ever have to leave. Everything you have is created by them. Everything you do is
it's
watched.
Like a phone. That's why it's gonna be like a phone.
You're living in your phone.
That's why
that's
it
why
scares
that's what
me.
the line
That's why it
is?
scares
Bro, that's
me,
why I'm
bro.
like, fuck the line.
That's
Fuck
what
the
I was
line?
saying. That's what I was
Okay,
saying.
I can agree to that then.
Like
Fuck the line. Then.
I feel like if I were to live in the line, like I can't separate myself from all the technology anymore. Like for example, like my phone, I could just leave it in my room, and then I could just walk around my house or like go out.
Dude, think about it, dude. Like you're basically in a weird way, like you're held captive to what's in the line. Like you live there. They can place whatever they want in there. You know what I mean? Like you live there, and you're like, there's no schools for miles. You know what I mean? But we control the schools. Everything controls the schools. Like what you eat. We grow it here. Like you know. So I feel like in a perfect world, it sounds cool. We don't live in a perfect world, and I feel like they're scheming.
Humans are imperfect, and they're going
I don't know.
to do self-interest.
It'll probably be cool, like as a tourist and like as a rich person, but like for the average Joe, it's probably gonna suck.
So what's next, man? What's next? What do you think is next? How do we better the world without also at the same time making it some 1984 shit?
I feel like the more things change, the more things stay the same. I think it's always going to be like this. I think there's always going to be rich versus poor. It's always going to be a problem that we make up, and I feel like that's okay. Like it's cool. I feel like you gotta figure out how you kind of interact with that. You know,
how your place in the world,
like where you kind of interact with that. If you're like fuck that, then fuck that, then go. I don't know, go die in the woods.
Because
you know what I mean. That's what I'm gonna do.
Looking at the TikTok stuff, taking a deep dive, I was obviously watching a lot of videos from a lot of conspiracy theory guys, and they seem so stressed. And I understand because it's important. Like you want to protect humanity and you want to protect it and you want people to be aware. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, like
a life lived
like
in
don't
fear.
waste
Yeah,
don't waste
man.
your time doing that.
No, what he said.
A life lived in fear is a life half lived.
Yeah, like all these problems that are worrisome. It's good to make yourself aware and try to better mankind, but don't waste your life away like being caught up in conspiracies.
I think you gotta like change the world. You gotta change yourself. I feel like if
you can't heal the world until you hear.
Yeah.
Wait, how does it go? You can't
save the world until you save yourself.
No, you
gotta
can't
help yourself before you help the world.
The Kendrick line. Come on, as somebody listening, I know you guys know it.
Right.
Somebody commented.
But the point is, I think I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know. Maybe my opinion is wrong. Maybe one person can make a difference.
Maybe one person can make a difference.
I don't know. I feel like I don't understand why people. I mean, I personally kind of understand like the fear of like all the people like the what do you call them, conspiracy theorists. Like I get like
Mhm.
why they're so afraid and all that shit, but I feel like I don't know. I don't really have a problem that you're afraid, but I feel like go do something about it. You know what I mean?
Good.
Like,
Do something about it.
like I don't mean, and I don't even mean like go tell off the government. I mean go do something about it for you. Like if you're scared of AI, go live in the woods. Like go, you know what I mean? Like just go be happy, dude.
So
Like
stop
go.
spreading the fear.
Or like if you're like no, not stop spreading the fear. Even if you're like, oh, these phones are controlling us, but like that makes your paycheck. All the I don't know. Am I wrong?
I know, I get what you're saying. I always find it interesting because of our age. All three of us we're all in our 20s. I wonder what, as an older guy, like in your 60s and 70s, when you're like not exact, you're in your twilight years, right? Not exactly like stupid old, but you're getting up there. I wonder what it feels like to you because you have so much reference. I wonder if
do you want to
somebody
grow old?
Do I want to grow old?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to grow old, but I've never pictured myself old.
I want to grow old. I feel
Really?
I feel like I've pictured myself old.
I've never really pictured. Since I was a kid, do you remember I always mentioned that a lot of people have existential crisis now, but I had mine when I was really young. When I was really young, I don't know why I had this idea that I was gonna die young. Like since I was like 8 years old, I always had that idea. So to me, like the age that I'm at right
This
is
is gonna be the haunting TikTok clip.
Oh, they're gonna cut it. They're gonna cut it to like me and like I died in a car crash or some
it's
shit.
Like, they have like XXX and
They have the black and white edits. No, but seriously, since I was a kid, I always had like this weird feeling that I was gonna die young. So now that I'm at the age where I feel like I could die at any moment,
I have a question for
it feels
you.
weird.
I have a question for you because I've always wondered. Because you know how they say Kobe said that he wanted to die young because he said like he wanted to be immortalized. That's true, right?
You think when you die young, you're immortalized?
No.
That
Like
he said
it's
that?
true
Oh,
that he said that, right? Like
I've heard that.
I'm
Yeah,
not propaganda.
I didn't fact check it, but I've heard. I've seen posts. I've seen Instagram posts. Yeah.
Do you think that like that's true that people who die young and say they are gonna die young, they just know that that's their destiny, or do you think they kind of like make that their reality?
No, I think they make that their reality. I think manifestation is true. I think if you manifest it, that's why I said
I believe that.
I don't think I'm gonna die young, but I've always had that feeling.
I feel like
of it.
I agree. I feel like it's people who like well, I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of creepy though. Like didn't Selena, wasn't that scene in Selena where she sees the white rose like a real dream she had or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Where she saw herself dying.
Yeah,
that's pretty scary. You know
Well,
what I
because
mean?
a lot of people, even I think who was it? I think it was Jenny Rivera. I think
She had visions of her
she did, and then I think she made a song about it.
Or fucking Richie Valens. That's pretty scary. That's why I'm always like because Richie Valens was terrified, it seemed, of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Well,
so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, from the people that have died young, I've known like Selena, Jenny Rivera, and then I forgot who else, but they've like had visions of them dying, and then it actually happened. Or like they wrote a song before it. And I think people say like you sometimes get the feeling already. I don't know.
You don't think that everybody just
scary.
talks about dying at one point? No.
I remember looking it up and like somebody was saying that like if you think you're gonna die young, there's a chance you're gonna do more risking things. Like you're gonna talk more shit. You're gonna do this thing that you probably shouldn't do. You're like, oh, I'm gonna die young. So in a way, like even without like the metaphysical of saying I manifested it, you're kind of, you know what I mean? You're setting yourself up to succeed. That's so. But I'm like other times it seems like pretty crazy because like the plane one with Richie Valens, I'm like, whoa, it's pretty gnarly, dude.
How he had a death fear that he would always
Did that
die
scene
in a
actually
plane.
happen though, where they do the coin? Yeah.
I know who is it? The guy who says I hope your plane crashes. That told that to him.
No, who
is it? It's in the movie. Is it
no, it's not in the movie.
It's somebody who's Richie Valens' friend. He's pretty famous. I think he's a famous singer. He's just he's not coming in my head right now. Where I think Richie Valens was like, I hope your bus like gets stranded, and he told Richie Valens, I hope your plane crashes. And he said when he heard that, like it crushed him for like 40 years. He was like, did I do that to Richie? And yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, the whole thing about Richie Valens' fear of planes is true. Though how he said that he saw a plane crash and it killed his friend, that's true too.
Well, yeah,
that's a real thing.
because it wasn't it true that a plane actually crashed while he was at his school, right?
Yeah.
So that's
all
like,
true.
That's like
crazy. The one difference is that he wasn't there. He wasn't actually there.
That's why he thought he dodged it, right?
Yeah. So he had that fear growing up that he would die from a plane because it's been looking for him ever since.
Richie Valens' story is crazy though.
It's sad, man.
Yeah,
because he was what? He
music
was
died, right?
15. No,
he was young.
He
I
was
know
16,
that.
17.
He was like 17.
17, right?
He was like 17. Yeah.
And he was making it big. And
he was blowing up. He was doing it for the culture, you know. And yeah, like you said, the song is named after him. The day the music died, because him and Buddy Holly and all of them died. They all died in a plane crash. So I don't know. So you think I should stop saying that I've never had that feeling?
I mean, do what you want. I don't know. It's do whatever you want. It's your life.
I'm telling you,
But
like,
just
well,
saying,
but it's
like,
weird because it's like it's hard to not say it that way, because I've been thinking about that way since I was a kid. Like I had my existential crisis when I was like 12 years old.
No, that's
'cause
why I'm
I had
just, no,
that
I
weird
don't,
feeling.
I don't care. I'm not. I don't mean I don't care. Like I don't care. I just mean like I just mean like I just want your opinion on that because you're someone who says that. So I'm like,
okay.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like,
yeah, no, I agree that I think if you think you're gonna pass away, you're definitely gonna be someone who
does more
risky things.
Like if you think you're gonna die, you're like, wow, just buy a motorcycle.
Yeah,
Who's
like
fuck,
recently
you know?
I was rekindling with one of my old friends. His name's Eduardo.
Yeah.
And he was asking me about like, oh, how's life been and all this stuff. And early this year, obviously, my grandma passed away. And she's like, oh, how's that? It's like I said it was okay because my grandma has seen a lot in her life, and she had kind of been suffering for a while because she had gone through a lot of tragedies. And I just started mentioning it, like just in general, like since my great grandpa, like my family has seen like a lot of tragedies over the years. And a lot of people in my family have died young. It's not something, and I've known that since I was a kid. And so I've always wondered if it's maybe a philosophy in my family of like we're the ones who do a lot more risque stuff that puts us in positions for us to be murdered or like die. And I told them like maybe, because I mean, like I said, I've had like gun pointed in my head, like I've been places I shouldn't have been, and it wasn't because like, oh, I'm gonna die young, who cares? But it was more of the sense of like,
even
if you're gonna live, man.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna live. It's not because I want to die, and I'm not looking for danger. It's just that I don't have a problem with danger being there. You know, I'm like it is what it is. But I definitely won't like go to South Central right now and dress up in all blood and blue and like be like, hey, like who's trying to pick a fight? Obviously, it's
You're
just
not looking for it.
Yeah, I'm not looking for it. It's just I guess it sometimes just finds you based on the way you live. So to answer your question,
so you think you're vibrationally aligned?
yeah, I think if you really do think you're gonna die young, you are most likely going to align with that vibe of dying young. Yeah. And so you telling me this, I don't want to align with that because I don't want. I've always felt that I was gonna die young, but I don't want to die.
I don't know. I feel like, nah, I don't think so. I feel like the people who do die young, like they like,
It's about to die. So
Oh, okay.
But you were saying?
What did you just say?
Oh my god.
No, it's just
wait. But so we only have
yeah.
like 4 minutes of the episode, and before the episode ends, for the people on the app, I wanted to give a quick, huge shout out to the Black Panther 2 trailer. One, for how beautiful it is. Second of all, for Namor, Namor. Julie, go ahead.
Namor the Submariner.
Tinoch Huerta, bro. Love that guy.
That's how you pronounce
Bro,
it?
yeah.
I thought it was Tonoch or Tonoch.
Tinet. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm messing up your name, sir.
No, I wanted to give a quick shout out because that guy looks mad indigenous. For those of you who are watching like on the camera, I even cut my hair. That's the real reason I cut my hair.
Wow.
I saw Namor and I was like, I like his hair. I'm like, I gotta fucking wear that shit.
Crazy.
I like
The dick
them-
eating is crazy,
Dick eating is
bro.
crazy.
The only guy I had who looked like me growing up was George Lopez. To
George
see
Lopez.
a Namor like
George
six pack,
George Lopez had drip.
he did. He has some. Sometimes
Lopez
he'd
had drip.
miss. I feel like sometimes he'd miss. He I wouldn't like some of his outfits, but sometimes he'd hit like out of the fucking park. You know, when he hits, he hits. No, but I really like the spin because for a long time Marvel had like a Namor was very big and very significant in the comic books.
He's the first
But
mutant.
yeah, but he's fucking he's basically just Aquaman. And so for the mainstream audience, like they had for a long time, Marvel had a very hard time to distinguish him from Aquaman because Aquaman's more famous, more big. He may not be the more respected because people clown on Aquaman, but he's definitely the bigger
But
guy.
this is a cool way to get them to take him serious. And to like have him cool.
To have him like have his own distinct personality. They based it on,
and he's
like,
not the ruler of Atlantis anymore.
Yeah, it's
like
Tolotan. Am I wrong? I think it's
Tolocan or
Tolotan. It's
something.
something with a T.
I don't know anything about
It's the myth. So it's in Aztec and Mayan like mythology. It's where people who die by drowning go when they die.
Yeah.
So it's
Drowning
like
what?
when people go, when they drown, it's where they go. And in
Oh.
That's where
Aztec
he
and
was,
Mayan
yeah.
mythology,
Wow.
when people die of drowning, that's where they go. So it's beautiful, bro.
Bro,
Yeah.
he's also. I think he's also the first like mutant. Like, he's probably gonna set up mutants in the. Because I think in the
On the
comics,
MCU?
he's like the only mutant.
I know he's
First-
born with like
I
wings
don't
or
know.
whatever.
I told Stevie that no matter what, whether it's good or bad, I'm gonna go support.
I thought it was because the first Black Panther did really well. Like it made so much money, and the Black community really showed out for Black Panther.
Mhm.
And I really love that for the second one, they chose to make basically like the other, I don't know, the enemy or the, what would you call it, the co-star,
The
a
flip side
brown,
of the
like
coin.
an indigenous man.
Yeah.
So the movie will, I imagine it will mainly be people of like Mexican indigenous descent and Black people, and it'll be beautiful, bro, because I feel like our cultures really do go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And that's what really excites me about it, because you look at the budget level of it, and it's like Marvel's really trying for this.
I'll
One
give
part
that
because
to
of Chadwick
Marvel.
Boseman.
They're doing pretty good with the like,
Culturally, that's like a
Yeah.
beautiful, like, wow, like they couldn't have casted like a better.
Black Panther looks pretty. Like Black Panther, they did a. Patty said the meat writing is insane. The Black Panther, I feel like they did good, like showing love to that culture.
Yeah.
I feel like it looks
Yeah.
like they're doing good, showing a lot of love to this culture.
Mhm.
Shang-Chi was pretty cool. I
Mhm.
feel like they did a good job showing love to
Mhm.
that culture.
Mhm.
So Marvel's been killing it with representation. I'll give them that.
Yeah, hell yeah. And but like a lot of people complain. They're like, oh my god, like when the liberals are at it again.
I
you
feel
know?
like he looks way cooler than what he looks like in the comics. That he's like a Mayan.
Yeah,
Aztec,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and he has like a megalodon throne and shit.
Mhm.
Bro,
But
have you seen
people
the
also-
have you seen the poster where it's like an Aztec drawing and he's like fighting a Black Panther, but it's like in the form of like an Aztec
No,
drawing?
no, I
it's
have
pretty cool.
not. Wow.
Oh yeah. It's where they're showing like all the
Yeah,
posts. I seen
it's
it. I
like
seen it.
yeah, it's cool.
They're showing like where the music is coming from like different
Mhm.
artists. And I remember I saw one that's called Santa Fe or something like that.
Mhm.
And they're like a rap group that I used to listen to in Mexico. And like
Oh, really?
they're being featured in the album. And I was like,
Wow.
wow, that's dope. That's sick. I was like, wow, that's cool.
The
I
other-
like the inclusivity. I feel like I'm very just excited of the inclusivity in general. Cause even like I saw it on TikTok where they were interviewing the other stars that were there.
Mhm.
You saw the guy with like the really long hair and then the girl with like the ponytail.
Mhm,
I don't know if
yeah.
I don't know if you
No,
saw
I know
them.
what you're talking about,
Well, we're leaving on the app. See you next week.
That was clutch, Brandon. Wow, that was beautiful.
Okay,
yeah, for
what's-
those of you on YouTube, you'll obviously still get us for a little bit, because
Uh,
I want to talk a
But
little bit
yeah,
more about it.
And they were being interviewed and they were like, bro, like we're superheroes. Like
Mhm.
they were saying it in Spanish. They were like, we're superheroes. We did it. Like we're gonna be superheroes now and all that. And you can see the excitement of them. And then they interviewed what's his name? Dinos or however you say his name. Sorry.
Yeah, Tino.
He
I imagine.
was very thankful. Like I feel like my thing is like how emotional they are because we really lost like a really good person. So like Chadwick,
Yeah,
and like
rest
he
in
was
peace.
being very grateful. He's like, because of Chadwick, we're here. Like because of him, and
Wow.
and then he's like, we're here to stay. We're here to stay for the community. And I feel like it's just beautiful in general. I was like just seeing the inclusivity and seeing like our kind of culture kind of being added to it. I'm really excited and I hope that it is very well represented in it. So it's just something that is just very exciting, and seeing the videos of like just finally seeing someone like that's actually like dark skinned like us is like really nice. I'm like that's the biggest part where I've been like super. I remember like I've been watching so many videos and so many people have been like so emotional. A lot of people have been like it's kind of like the union of the Black and brown community. And I
Yeah.
think that's the most beautiful thing to me. To me, it's like the most beautiful thing of like how we're both kind of like meshing now.
What do you think's
Yeah.
gonna direct his solo film?
He's gonna have a solo movie?
Probably, right?
Are you serious?
No, I don't know. I mean,
Probably.
He's
You're.
just
I was about to
saying.
like lose my
he
mind.
probably is, bro.
He'll
Like,
probably
that-
eventually.
that
You
happened
think
with
so?
Dude, they introduced Black Panther in
It's because like the reason why I wanted to have like a big segment and talk about this is because I want to really emphasize how much this means a lot. Like it's insane how much when people represent Mexico in media and on TV, like it's very whitewashed. Like novellas, you look at novellas, like it's
Mhm.
all like
Yeah.
white faces. Like even though they're Mexican,
Yeah.
it's all people who are from like European descent.
They're all
And-
from
And
Michoacan.
there's
I don't want to disrespect anyone
Nah, I'm
right
just
now.
kidding, I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
no, there's a video where he actually made
talks about
he
it,
talks
right?
about it because he's always been like on his bio thing or whatever you call it, he's always been the morenito this, the morenito that, the morenito, like the morenito guy, which means like the dark skinned guy.
Mhm.
He's always been the dark skinned guy, but he's always been like in the background. And then yeah, like how Stevie was saying, like where you see novelas or commercials or everything, it's always like white skinned Latinos. And it's true. And some of them are European too. Like I remember seeing this one actress that I really, really liked, and I found out that she's actually European. Like she's not even like Latina. She's like, I think French or something. And I was just like, that's so weird. I was like the way I was like super misinformed of like our people and stuff.
Yeah, that's what really gets me, is that a lot of Mexicans are very misinformed and don't even know that like there's race in
There's
Mexico.
racism. Like, yeah.
And no, but there's race in
yeah,
Mexico.
yeah.
That there's just race in general. And Tonochi talked about in an interview about how a lot of people in Mexico want to pretend like racism doesn't exist. That because we're all Mexican, it's all the same thing. And he's like, that's worse, because people prefer white faces and white beauty, and in movies they're the people who get the most parts in Mexico. And people want to act like, but yeah, people celebrate Mexico and they dick ride it. They dick ride like Mexico. They're very prideful,
But you
but
know who the most prideful ones are.
and yet they're like people who are dark skinned. I talk about how my mom, she talks about how in her town everybody there was like morenita, everybody there was indigenous Mexican, but a
Puebla,
few,
right? Your mom's from Puebla?
yeah, she's from Puebla, but she's from a little town, La Soledad. Shout out to them. And that like a few towns over was like a town of Mexicans who were mainly from European descent. So they were all, like my mom said, they all had colored eyes. Like some of them had blonde hair. Like, yeah, like something you describe like a white person would have, right? And that they would literally go out of their own way and travel miles to go to their town just to bully everybody who was in my mom's town because they were dark skinned. Yeah, and that's in my mom's lifetime, you know?
Yeah.
And to me, the fact that Marvel was at least aware enough to where they casted Tenoch, somebody who his name in general, it comes from like that language of the indigenous people, and he's a dark-skinned indigenous man. To me, it brought a level of self-awareness that I have not seen in mainstream media for who knows how long. Like I said, growing up, the only guy I saw was George Lopez. So he'll always have like a place in my heart. But it was the same thing of like it was at its time, he did what he could, but now there's so much more like awareness, and
he's like a superhero. He's dope.
Yeah, he's dope.
Remember us always saying like, when are we gonna get our Latino like representation?
I thought it was gonna be Ghost Rider.
Yeah, because he's Chicano.
Also,
there's a version of him.
Patty McFatty said, "I'm so excited. I showed my mom. I was so excited. I showed my mom."
I wanted to tell my mom about it too. I told my mom when Chochi was in Doctor Strange Multiverse Madness. 'Cause she was from
Sochin.
Yeah, I told her about her. I haven't told her about Namor, but I definitely should.
You know, have you guys seen this thing that like it's been happening a lot? I don't even know what you call it, where people are like, they try to be so not racist, they end up being kind of racist.
Like Get Out?
Yeah. Well, have you seen for Nope, where there's like, you know how he's wearing the orange sweater?
I think I know what you're talking about.
I've seen the tweet where it's like, I love that they dress the hero in orange. Traditionally, when you see a black man in orange, you think prison. And everybody was like, what? Like, I don't think that was the intent.
That's what everybody thinks.
That's what everybody was thinking.
I wonder what Jordan Peele would say to that.
Well, you know what's interesting? You know how you know that scene in Get Out where she's separating where she's
I seen that.
You know, he said that's not like anything other than like it's not. There's a part in Get Out where the girl's eating
Fruit Loops,
and the milk and the Fruit Loops are separate, and everybody's like, oh, it's separating the whites from the colors. I think Jordan Peele said that
it was just to show that she's weird. She has like a very process of eating.
He said that was just to show that. I just thought that looked kind of creepy. Like I wasn't planning.
She was very like calculating in the way she eats.
I remember seeing a lot in Nope. You know how there's what do you call it, the guys? The inflatable guys.
Oh yeah, inflatable tube men.
A lot of people were saying like, oh, it's like supposed to be like people of color. Get it? Because it's like they're all colors.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
y'all are missing the point.
But at the same time, I don't know. Isn't that what art is? Is that you kind of give it your own meaning?
No, yeah, but I feel like Well, here I'll explain why I was thinking about this. Because when we watched Nope, I gave it like a 7.5 out of 10, and it's not because I didn't like the movie. It's just because like something about it, I was like, I don't know, I don't feel like I feel like if I watched it
Satisfied?
again, I would like it a lot more.
Mhm.
And it's because I was watching Jordan Peele's like, and from what I understand, he's talking about how the film is supposed to be kind of like what happens when you get too caught up in the spectacle of something, right? Like, I
Mhm.
mean, if you haven't seen the movie, that's kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
that's
know what
pretty.
I'm,
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
that's a good way of describing it.
So
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, is the movie kind of like suggesting that uh like people are getting too caught up in the spectacle of him, like oh, he's gonna stick it to racism and stuff like that, where he's like, I'm also like a filmmaker, you know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not
Yeah.
all I am.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So is that wrong? Because I feel like
No, I mean, he talks about it how well, at least people have theorized that the Nope is about his journey to Hollywood, that he became a spectacle, that everybody's like, wow, like he
Yeah,
did
right.
comedy, now he's doing serious horror movies,
Yeah.
like, and they're good and they're about society,
yeah,
right? And it's definitely feels like it's almost like you're seeing too much into it, stuff that
Yeah.
isn't there.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's perfect, bro. But that's why I personally really like it,
Yeah.
because I told my sister it has so many layers.
No,
There's
that's
there's what happens in the movie, the surface layer. Then there's the bottom of it, of like why Jordan Peele made the movie, and then there's even the lower aspect
no,
of like what people think about the
that's
movie.
why I feel like with that interpretation, I like the movie a lot more.
Mhm.
But I didn't have that interpretation going in.
Mhm.
I just didn't. And I don't know,
I
it's
was having
interesting.
this discussion with Izzy yesterday, and he said, "Yeah, but like not everybody's like a film critic. To people, some people just want to watch entertainment, and to them, like it wasn't a good movie because of that." And Izzy doesn't agree with that. He gave it a 9 out of 10. He really likes that movie, but he's saying that some people aren't like film critics.
Yeah.
And what do you think about that, like criticism?
You know what I don't like as a criticism? Have you seen how Logan Paul doesn't like the movie?
Yeah.
I don't like how people are like, it's because it's for people who have more than one brain cell. I don't like that at
Yeah,
all.
I told
think
I told my sister that people were going in on him way too much.
I think that's really like stupid when people say like if you don't like something, it's because you're too dumb to understand the art.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's really dumb. I feel like that's, in my opinion, what kind of fucked up Rick and Morty is because everybody would say like, oh, you don't
you're
like
not
it 'cause
smart
you're
enough.
not smart enough to enjoy it.
You have
Like,
to have a
that's-
base level IQ of like 400.
Yeah, like that's so
Yeah.
like, why do you talk down
Yeah.
to people like that? Like, I don't know.
You think you're better?
I think that's
I
dumb.
feel like what I liked about it, well, because the only movie that I've seen from him was Get Out. I haven't seen Us yet, but at least for this one, I mean, my ass was like, it's a scary movie, bro. I was scared, but
it's more of a thriller.
But I
right?
feel like it wasn't like super like scary, but I feel like it was very well and like entertaining. But because I already knew how he kind of like films, I was kind of like, what does this mean? But what does this mean? And then, but then I still fairly enjoyed it. Like I
No,
still
yeah, I
was
feel like-
really into it.
I feel like that's what I went wrong with. I was kind of like, well, what does this mean? You know what I mean? So I was
Mhm.
kind of doing what he was kind of like criticizing, right? That people
Yeah.
get too caught up in the spectacle that they kind of
Mhm.
miss, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, oh, so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
But
why I'm
it-
like, do I really not like it? You know?
You know what's weird? This really weirdly relates back to Black Panther 2, because I saw people who put on their thinking caps, right?
Yeah.
They thought about how in the comics it's like Atlantis and Wakanda have beef, right?
Yeah.
So in the terms of this new movie, it's like then the Mexican people and the black people having beef, right?
Yeah.
And it seems as though that's where the movie's gonna go. It's gonna be
Mhm.
Namor versus Black Panther, and Wakandans versus Atlantis. So people are like, this movie's trying to pit Mexicans and black people against each other, and that's like the deeper meaning behind it. And then also you saw that was more of a joke of like notice how Namor, he's the first indigenous Mexican like superhero, and the first thing you see is his wet back, and it's like
Yeah.
that one seems more like a joke.
Yeah.
But the one of like black people versus Mexicans, that one seems like people are actually saying like, what is this? Do you think this
Implying.
could
What is this
imply a
implying?
bad thing?
I
But I
thought-
mean, the movie hasn't even out yet.
I
For all
don't
you
know.
know, it could end like with like a
I also
humanity
feel it's
hug.
because people go in sometimes with really high expectations or things that they want them to go in a way. Because I feel like Nope was kind of the same thing. People
Yeah.
expected it to be scary, and like if it wasn't that scary to you, I mean, it was for me because I'm just a scaredy cat, and like I just don't like thriller. Well, I do, but anyways, and I feel like people were expecting more like scary shit to happen, and I think some people were like, it wasn't that great, like because it wasn't what he usually takes
I don't know.
brings out.
I
Right?
like the Gordy stuff. I'm not gonna say what that is, but I like that stuff.
Bro,
You're
that's
not gonna give a
that's the
spoiler.
Low-key.
I just said Gordy. That's all I said.
Okay.
I
Bro,
didn't say
low-key,
anything.
low-key, same.
I
even
feel
though
like-
even though like I don't like that like scary kind of
To
stuff.
me,
it
the
was
most-
just very
I think-
it was just very like
The
that feeling, like
shoe.
that feeling.
The shoe. That's what I'm gonna say. The shoe.
I feel
man.
like just in retrospect of how I feel like I'm starting to interpret the movie, I like what that little like mini like
thing was.
sub. I like
Yeah.
the subtext to what I think he's trying to portray with that.
Mhm.
Like I think that's really cool.
Mhm.
But anyways, yeah. So you were saying I think more the movie's kind of gonna. I thought the movie of Black Panther 2 is gonna be kind of saying like how black and brown people have a lot in common, very beautiful cultures.
I think so too.
Mhm.
I think so too.
But they are fucked up to each other sometimes.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what I mean?
To me, that's
And
beautiful.
I feel,
Yeah, it's real.
and I feel like that's real and it's bold.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because a lot of
Mhm.
people in those communities don't want to admit it. You know what I mean? They're quick to
Mhm.
point fingers, but they never
Yes.
want to be what me? Nah. You know
Yeah.
what I
I
mean?
agree.
I agree
'Cause I
100%.
feel like that'd be cool.
I feel something about it makes me like super emotional that I feel like maybe watching it I'm probably gonna be emotional.
I want Shang-Chi.
We
to
watch
pull
it.
up.
It's like a comedy.
It's a
like,
comedy, yeah.
There's like a joke every
Like Namor's.
But just
like,
in general,
nah, never
the
mind.
trailer, the trailers just in general, like the
Looks pretty
trailer's beautiful.
serious. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
love the
like-
tone. Yeah.
I like the songs that they mixed. What is it?
Mhm.
No Women No Cry, and then they
And-
did All Right.
But
Because some people interpret it as like because we kind of lost Chadwick, and then they were like having Kendrick and like him saying like like we're gonna be all right. It means like us as the community that even though we lost him, like we're gonna
Mhm.
be all right. And I thought that shit was beautiful.
I think so
Who do
too.
you- who do you
I'm
think-
pretty sure that's
Who
exactly.
do you think
what
the
it
new
is.
Black Panther is going to be? You think it's going to be?
I don't think it really matters.
You don't really care who dons the.
Not really.
who
I don't think
dons the Panther.
I
cape?
think it matters to me if it's done well in the movie.
Oh, because they showed
But in
it,
terms
huh?
of like,
Well, they showed it, and everybody's like, going crazy with, oh, it's gonna be. They're saying it's what's Black Panther's girlfriend name in the movie?
I don't remember. I don't
The
remember.
girl,
I know her.
the girl that Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah.
You know
I
she's
was gonna say-
Mexican.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was born in Mexico.
I
Mhm.
feel like that'd be dope because
She's Kenyan.
like,
Yeah.
She's Kenyan and Mexican. They also have a Guatemalan character.
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
that's gonna play Namor's mom.
Yeah.
That's a
Or
beautiful.
like their cousins too. So there's like a lot of like
Beautiful,
Latinos
man.
in there
That's pretty
too.
cool,
There's
yeah.
not just
Beautiful,
Mexicans.
hell
I
yeah.
There's
hope
like
Shang-Chi
other-
shows up, bro. And
you feel represented.
yeah, Shang-Chi pulls up. Bro,
He's Namor's homie.
I really like Shang-Chi.
Bro, for Halloween this year, I'll be Namor, you'll be
Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi, and my sister will be Cho-Chi.
Bro,
From,
I like that.
Sochi?
I like that.
Yeah.
I keep
fucking-
hearing you say Chochi. And
You mean America Chavez?
Yeah, American Chavez.
I like that Shang-Chi's got the
bro,
rings,
I still
bro.
can't believe my ass thought her name was Erica.
You thought it was Erica.
Oh,
the
I-
whole
and
you
it
time?
saying-
was-
That's what I'm
you
saying.
thought
Bro,
she was
wouldn't
saying
that
I'm
hit?
Erica?
Wouldn't that hit? You're Shang-Chi, I'm Namor, and she's America Chavez.
I feel like it.
There's something wrong.
I feel like, you know
we
what I
need
mean?
someone to tie us together.
Yeah.
It's Secret Wars.
Secret
Come on,
Wars.
Woo.
Bro, have you seen that? The Spider-Man show?
Show.
Oh, the freshman.
Yeah. Did you see that people are saying that Norman Osborn's black?
He is black. They
Yeah,
show
he's
the
black, right?
Yeah,
That's cool. I
It-
wonder
it-
because I wonder who they're gonna cast as like live action him then. Because
Oh, that's true. Yeah, people are saying it's that guy from Breaking Bad.
yeah, right. But I've heard that he's supposed to be
Dr.
Professor
Doom?
X. Professor X.
Oh, I heard that people were saying he
people
should
are
be Dr.
casting
Doom.
him. People are casting him for every
Yeah,
role.
no, yeah.
Um,
But I like that people were saying like now it all makes sense why Norman Osborn always had waves in the comics.
yeah,
because he's black. Did you see new Harry too? He's black too, obviously.
What do you think? Really quick, what do you think about when people are like, "Oh, it messes up the canon that Harry was always there," and like, "How come he didn't recognize Norman Osborn? Why is Doc Ock there?"
I just don't think it's probably like
I just feel-
connected.
I think it probably is, but I feel like they don't really care that much. I
Yeah.
feel like I don't even mean like they're like whatever's about it, but I feel like they can't plan everything, dude. Like they didn't even know they were gonna get Spider-Man back. Like, you know,
I just don't think it's connected because it doesn't make any sense either. Because
they said it's connected though.
I know, but I think they're gonna take that back.
They're gonna say nah,
Yeah, they're gonna be like, nah. I know we said that first, but it was way too hard.
but it,
It was too boring. Because I mean, if they connect it to the universe, it's very limiting. Because Spider-Man didn't exist until Spider-Man basically came out. You know,
I hope
So
they
it's
connect.
pretty
Because I
limiting.
feel like I don't know. I hope they connect it.
Bro, remember the TikTok I sent you? It's like Norman. I thought you were.
Oh yeah.
But they said new Harry's gonna steal MJ from Tom Holland, bro. 'Cause-
Really?
Yeah, because they say he's got unspoken Riz? How do you say that?
Unspoken Riz.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I think that's good enough to end this episode on unspoken Riz. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. We'll be live every Thursday. I hope you guys had an amazing time. I like to shout out once again to Denoch. That's the homie right there.
Shout out.
If he ever wants to come on the show, he's welcome to come on the show.
Yes.
And the last thing I'll leave it off on is Brown is beautiful. That's all I can say.
We'll see y'all next time. Bye.